Welcome back, Toddler Tribe. It's gift giving season. However, you celebrate whatever holiday you are stepping into or have already stepped into, gifts are abounding between people, flowing back and forth. And so today I really want to pull apart what it means to be a gift giver and what it means to be a gift receiver, because there is a very correlative relationship between giving and receiving. They do not exist in that mutual exclusivity place that many things in life can. They have to coexist. All right, let's dive in. I get super psychological when I think about giving and receiving and not just tangible items. So let's think about this from your kids' perspective. All right, the holiday season, if you ask them what they're most excited about, the majority of your little people will say what? The presents. They are joyful receivers, my friends. They love to receive. And this is wonderful. However, our job as their mentors in life, their trusted adults in life, is to nurture their character as well. And joyful giving is a beautiful character trait, whether it is someone who grows up to give a compliment to somebody else, someone who shows up to give their time to somebody else, someone who shows up with a meal when they need it, someone who shows up with some dollars when someone else is in need. So we want to cultivate a giving heart as much as we want to rejoice in their joy of receiving. I told you, I get kind of deep on this topic. So, one of the things that I have noticed, and I have experienced this observed it in my own life, coming out of my own mouth when my kids were little, because it's very societally embedded in us to say, what do you want for? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want? Listen to those words really carefully. What tangible item do you, tiny little infant, toddler, preschooler, ego brain, want, desire for this holiday that requires gift giving? Can you hear it and can you feel it? It's not a connected experience like I talked about at the very top of this show, right? It's a very isolated, it's a very insulated, me question. And they're going to throw lots of things at you. And because they're tiny creatures who are only a product of what they see and hear, their little environments, which are also very insulated, they're going to throw the most recent things that they've heard about, seen, watched another kid play with at you. Okay. All of this is part of the gift experience. We want our children to feel loved, therefore we give. We want our children to feel included, therefore we give. We want our children to feel like we are providing them with the best little life possible, therefore we give. Notice you're giving from a joyful space. It brings you deep joy to see that item. Oh my gosh, Lucy would love that. Right? You're doing a human nature connection. You're doing an emotional connection to an object that you happen to know would bring children joy? Can you hear the triangle in that experience? Now, the giving part, you've got that down. The receiving part, they've got that figured out. What if we flip the script? What if instead, and there's a couple days left, if you are someone who celebrates Christmas, right? Today's the 23rd. There's a couple days left till the actual holiday. What if instead of saying, what do you want? You say, what would you like to give? Curating that want list, putting it all together, sending it away to Santa, the excitement of receiving on the day of. I don't want to take any of that away. That's all still real. But balance the tables. Think of it like a seesaw, right? Where when it's balanced, both people have equal height and they're of equal weight in that tipping point. Balance the seesaw by also cultivating very intentional conversations about giving. What would you like to give? Who would you like to give it to? Why do you think they would love that gift? The same internal processes that you go through as you create gifts for your children is what you want to teach them to do for others. My husband recently said to me, "Whew, our girls are such good gift givers. They're so thoughtful in how much energy they put into choosing what it is." And then he said, "I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, huh?" Implying that that's who I am, and it is who I am. But let me tell you something. Your kids aren't born with that skill. My parents taught me how to be a thoughtful gift giver, and I taught my children how to be thoughtful gift givers. And you can too. What would you like to give? Okay, now let's fast forward a little bit, all right? The holidays are over. The new toys are everywhere. Maybe one's already broken. Um, you know, we are post holiday, whatever that looks and sounds like for you. People ask the exact same question over again, except in the past tense. What did you get for Christmas? What did you get during Hanukkah? What did you get for your birthday? You hear it? Now we're just pulling them back to the moment of receiving that tangible item. And we want them to list off for us. Who's getting the joy out of that moment? Us, right? We think that we are creating a joyful moment inside them, but really we're just asking a question they're answering. And we're anchoring and rooting. This is important. Don't miss it. We're rooting the idea that gift giving opportunities are all about receiving. This has happened when you have a kid who's 2.5 years old, their birthday is not for another 6 months, and you're at the store and they really want something and you lay a strong boundary and say, we are not buying that toy today. And they go, I have it for my birthday. They know. They know that there are these moments in time that they get. But how often are we cultivating moments in time for them to give? So let's flip the script again. Post-holiday, it's all said and done. Ask them this instead. What did you give for Christmas? What did you give for Hanukkah? Who did you give it to? How did it make you feel to give them that gift? Notice the third question is different than the trio we had earlier. Earlier, we ended with, why do you think they'll like it? They have to connect to somebody else's perspective, somebody else's psyche. Now you're saying, like, we've come all the way around. Now you're saying, how did it feel to give it to them? You're connecting to their emotional core. You're connecting to their psyche and their experience. Because now they're going to flash back and visualize the joy on that person's face when they gave it to them. You are cultivating your experience within your children. And you don't have to stop here. Holiday seasons are the best time for us to really think about it and parse it out and put this into action because we're all thinking about gift giving. However, it can happen all year long. The person in front of you at the grocery store is $2.72 short. And you say to your kids, here's $3. Let's give this to the person in front of us who needs it. Gift giving, heart giving. It's all over the world, and you can do it any time of year. But don't forget the final step. Crucial, right? The doing, the modeling, yes. The crucial step is the conversation. How did it feel to help this person at the grocery store who needed our help? How did it feel to hand over those dollars, knowing that it meant that they could take home that grocery that they needed? Talk about it. And if your kids don't have the language to respond back yet, that doesn't mean we don't talk about it. It just means we reflect from our way. We come from our heart. It felt so good. I knew I had $3 in my pocket and I didn't really need it. I was going to use it to get a coffee, but I don't need a coffee. This person needed milk more than I needed coffee, right? Do it from your perspective. Even if they can't talk back, it's going to land. All right, everybody. I'm so excited that you are headed into the next season, whatever that is for you. And we are going to start talking about redefining who we want to be in the new year as parents, as caregivers, as teachers. And I'm going to do a lot more talking about these language swaps in the new year as I lead up to introducing my book to you, which comes out in April of 2026, all about language and how to use it intentionally with kids. It's going to be an excellent new year. Until then, please enjoy whatever holiday you are leaning into. Lean into your family, receive with joy, and give with joy. You know what to do, Toddler Tribe. Until our next episode, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.